Why are you holding yourself back from the judgment of other people? Whether that's the judgment of somebody completely random that you don't even know. And it's the thing that holds you back because you don't want to be judged. You don't want to be seen as imperfect when you go and start conversation with a new person. Whether that's an attractive girl, a new friend, whether that's networking at a business party, social event, talking to the person behind you at the wedding, at the open bar. But you're afraid of looking stupid, you're afraid of looking dumb to people that don't even matter. Is there a chance that you may say something dumb? Yeah, there is. There's always going to be that type of risk. You'll never be able to please everybody. It's all going to be learning. You're going to have to make mistakes. You're going to have to fail. Not everybody is going to like you. But for you to figure out who likes you and who doesn't, and you try to please everybody, you'll have people who like you, but you won't have people who love you. And in the worst case scenario, you lose yourself and you always feel drained because you're pleasing other people because that's where you're finding your validation. That's where you need their validation to confirm that you are enough, to not be judged. Because if you're not judged, you don't have to deal with the overwhelming emotions because you need that validation to feel happy. And how do I know this? It's because I lived it. I lived as a people pleaser. I held myself back. I thought I was shy. I was afraid to speak up. I was afraid to make jokes, speak my mind. I held myself back because of the judgments of family, friends. So what if you look stupid? So what if you make a mistake? So what if you're still figuring this out and it's you who gives the meaning to it? It's not your external circumstances that are causing these emotions, your feelings of feeling embarrassed, nervous, fear, guilt, shame. It's you. You cause your emotions. And it's usually tied to a thought and a belief. Thought of not being good enough, a thought of confirming that you're short, and because you're short, no girl will ever like you. I had this thought for a very long time. I'm 5'4", I'm Asian, and I let that hold me back until I accepted that I was short. So what? Until I stopped telling my story and feeling sorry for myself. So what? I'm short. The bigger deal that I make of it, the bigger it holds me back. And the faster that you can get over the fact that you're short, not rich, maybe too rich, ugly, handsome, not handsome enough, old, young, bad accent, bad teeth, not enough confidence. If you can't improve it, you can't change it, then you might as well accept it and feature it. And tell yourself a better story. Change that thought. It's hard. I'm not gonna tell you that it's easy and this is gonna happen overnight. My height was an issue for a while. I remember being at a homecoming dance my freshman year, and I went with a girl that was significantly taller than me. Literally towered over me and was like almost cuddling me because she was that tall with heels on, probably 5 inches taller than me. And I remember standing in line to go take formal pictures. And when I was standing there, she was standing on the chair and I was standing behind her. And because I was so short and the picture looked awkward, the photographer looks at me, looks at the picture, he makes like this weird squinting face, like something's wrong. And then he goes behind his little tarp, pulls out a wooden box, kicks it over to me, and then kind of motions with his head. And in this moment, I'm absolutely mortified. Not only because internally it's validating all the reasons why I feel like I'm not enough because of my height, but it's also because one of her friends I don't like and he doesn't like me started laughing and whispering to his date. And God bless one of my friends. He saw that and he's like, you wanna go kick his ass? Like, fuck him. I'm not a violent person, but I was fuming. And I'm not even an angry person. Why was I fuming? Because I let the judgment of another guy that didn't even matter, that I didn't even like, affect me. My date didn't even care. My date didn't even care. If I didn't care about my height in that moment, I would have just saw that guy and be like, oh yeah, he's laughing, whatever. It wouldn't have been a big deal. It wouldn't have been a big deal. It's what I made it mean to me in that moment. It meant that I wasn't good enough. It meant that I was ugly. It meant that he thought I was weak. It meant that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't whatever excuses, whatever insecurities that I had. It made me feel that and be mad. And I remember after that moment, thinking about it later and thinking about one of the best ways to get back at him was to never give him that power ever again, or anybody that power, for them to laugh at me and for them to use my height against me. And that's when I decided to work on the thought of me being short as my insecurity and as something that held me back emotionally. And when I made that decision, it wasn't easy, but I kept thinking, I'm short. There's nothing that I can do about this. And if I could just get to the point where my height doesn't even matter, it's not like it's something that I can change, and I can either be sad and angry and let this affect me the rest of my life, or I can look for better ways of thinking and just accept it. Yeah, being short is not gonna be an advantage. And in some cases, it's gonna be a disadvantage, but in what ways would it be a plus? It'll be a plus in the fact that I need to work harder than a lot of these other guys, and I can use it as motivation for me to improve the rest of my life, the rest of my ability, my social skills, how I connect and how I relate with people. And when my height stopped being a big deal, that's when it stopped mattering. And no matter if people laughed at me, said things about my height, girls said things about my height, it didn't matter. Because they could say whatever they want, but internally, it's what I thought and what I truly believed about my height. And when I looked at that, and throughout the years of working on that thought, that my height is not a big deal, and it may be a little bit of a disadvantage, but you know what? That's part of who I am, and it's fine. And I can either let this be a weakness, or I can just accept it and move on and just figure out and stop being so emotionally attached to this excuse and actually figure out, okay, despite my height, how can I succeed? What can I do despite my height? If there's other short guys out there who've succeeded, not only in romantic relationships, but in life, achievement, success, happiness, then I have no excuse. They got over it, why can't I? Now I want you to ask yourself, why can't you? Why are you holding yourself back from the judgment of other people? What is the story that you're telling yourself? What is that thought? And how can you start to change it? The thought of me being short, me not being enough, that short people are unattractive, that I won't be liked by other people, that was the thoughts that I had to confront and figure out how to bounce back from. So when you look at yours, what are the thoughts that are creating the uncomfortable emotions and that are making you hesitate and allowing other people to dictate what you want in life? You don't need validation from other people. You don't. You can be happy right now, but it's gonna take work. Being able to intrinsically get that motivation, that confidence within yourself, that's gonna be the real goal. How can I stop looking to other people to validate my existence and start realizing that I have self-worth, self-respect, and value to give to the world regardless of what other people think of me? And when you have that type of badass confidence, you're going to be a target. You're going to be different. When you haven't achieved any success, any of your goals yet, you're gonna stand out. There's gonna be people who don't like you just because of that. Ask yourself, do you want to continue to live by the expectations of other people, the judgments of other people, all because you're afraid of having other people be uncomfortable with what you want? You can spend the rest of your life pleasing other people and putting your dreams on the back burner. And if you did that, what would happen? What would you lose? If you were on your deathbed, what would your life look like? If you died tomorrow, what would you have wished you did today? When you put things into that perspective, the judgments of other people don't matter as much. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's gonna be uncomfortable. Yes, you're gonna feel shitty. But is your life and the life that you want and the person that you want to become, that badass life, that badass confidence that you want, is that worth sacrificing your own comfortability and breaking out of a life that you merely like, you're comfortable in, or maybe that you hate? I can't make that decision for you, but I want you to take a look and figure out what you want and to stop letting the judgments and what other people think hold you back. It's gonna be hard, but keep going. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Nothing that was worth working hard for came easy, because if it did, everybody else would have it. Take those incremental steps to changing your life. I don't care what it is. All those small actions add up. Get out there, be badass. Talk to you soon. Bye.